Right, straight on from yesterday. First, I ended up drinking Baileys for fucking years after that night out. That's what I was trying to say, not just because I'd had drinking Baileys. I ended up drinking fucking half pints of Baileys for years after that one night in the Robin Hood, along with brandy and beer, whatever the fuck I could get down my neck. Yeah, but basically, Little D was my first ever memory of loving someone, wanting to be around them. He was my first. I loved being with him. Now, my nan died when I was 4, but me and him, we were throwing. I can remember this clearly because basically we were fucking throwing stones, trying to throw stones over the fucking house. Again, your kids, because I want to start. Your kids. And you don't understand what you're doing. So you're throwing, your aim is to see who can throw the fucking best during, this starts at a young age, this competition, seeing what you can do and doing all these things, playing as a kid, but there's skills for life. But anyway, we're throwing fucking stones over the fucking house, or trying to throw stones over the house, and he launched a fucking stone and it smashed my fucking nan's window. And fucking he chipped off. He just fucking run off the cunt and fucking, that was the worst fucking possible fucking thing on earth that could have happened at that fucking moment in time. And I weren't allowed to fucking play with him. That was it. My nan was fucking, you are not allowed to fucking go near that fucking boy. And when I went to fucking, I can remember going to look at my first nursery, Grasmere Nursery, and him and the little black boy were fucking playing because they were a year older than me. So in my, oh wow, they're there, because I wanted to get out and be with them as a kid. They're the people I wanted to be with. I needed to be with them. I wanted to be with them because I loved being with them as a child. So when my nan died, the truth of the matter was I weren't that upset. I didn't like her. She was horrible to me. Regardless of the treat, I didn't like her. I didn't like my nan. And when she died, I knew that I could get back out and be with fucking him. Mainly him. Now, to listen to it, you'd think that you're dealing with a monster, but you're not. He looked no different from fucking me. Another little blondie. He was just a little bit bigger, well, quite a bit bigger than me and stronger than I was. But he, another little blondie. All we wanted to do was play and have fucking fun. Yeah, climb trees, make dens, fucking go on the fucking rope swing, do all these things. We're kids. Play football. Do a million different fucking things. We're kids. Babies. But by the age of fucking 10, 11, 12, the world has turned us into fucking psychopaths, extremely violent, that think about killing people a lot and hurting people because of the world. It's not the kids. Because what this world does is blame the fucking kids. You're a problem child. How am I a problem? How are you a problem child? Is it the child or is it the fucking world? What's turned those kids into doing that at baby? You're fucking this big at that fucking age, tiny. Yeah, he's stabbing people. I think about fucking murder, violence a lot. Killing people it becomes your fucking hobby, even if it's only in there. It's your hobby, killing people. Now that is a combination of suffering, pain and suffering, media contamination, and the world. The media contamination and the pain and the suffering are the main causes of those that. Yeah. You can't blame the fucking children. But the schools target the children. And it's done for a fucking purpose, which I'm going to get into. But anyway, as kids, I always wanted to fucking be with him, and I'm just going to tell my life story, and it will come out in loads of different things. His dad was Irish. I'm not sure whether their mum was or wasn't, but I could understand her very well. I can't picture it because you don't go into other people's homes that much. What I remember, you know, as a kid, I'd knock on the back door, I'd wait in the garden for him to come out. They're fucking waiting in their fucking garden, to me as a kid, was fucking terrifying because they had this fucking massive fucking German Shepherd in a fucking kennel at the bottom, a built kennel. It weren't in a house, it was in the kennel at the bottom of the garden. So you come in the gate and you've got this fucking giant German Shepherd barking and fucking growling at you that it wants to kill you, and all it's got is this little catch stopping, you know. Oh my God, and you've got to wait for him to come out while this fucking dog is prowling up and down the fucking kennel, growling and looking at you like it wanted to fucking eat you. But yeah, as kids, we're fucking, his old man used to work for Fitzpatrick's. We'd all be on the fucking back of the fucking van, bombing down the fucking road, fucking hanging on for fucking life on the back of the pickup, doing fucking donuts, and you had to hang on for fucking dear life. Probably had a few drinks when he's doing that, yeah? But as kids, it was just fun as fuck. You're fucking hanging on, spinning around the fucking back of the van, bombing up and down the estate. That's all we wanted to do as kids, play and have a laugh. Because I want to point this out. One of the first things a baby learns how to do is smile. Smile. That's one of the first things a human being learns what to do. Yeah, what happens is the education system is the massive one of that. You get punished all the time for doing that. Smiling. And then when you get older, people don't do that a lot at all. Smile. And not properly. You should be, no one walks around the road smiling. And if someone's smiling, normally people will drive past. What's that fucking cunt smiling at? Fucking wanker. Because it goes to spite, jealousy, that someone else is happy and you're a fucking miserable little fucking cunt. My whole life, a lot of people have hated me because I laugh all the time. They hate hearing your laughter because they are sad, miserable little cunts. The Albanian on the fucking, when I was with Flat Bass, I think it was. Yeah. Because I was laughing all the time. You could see it irritating him. He couldn't handle the fact that you were happy and he's a sad little fucking miserable little fucking cunt. And that's what the world does. Hates people being happy. But then does another thing and turns happiness into people laughing at other people's fucking downfall. Defects, their fucking downfalls, hurting themselves. When that weren't how it was. You just wanted to have fun. As kids, all we wanted to do was fucking have fun. And I want to point out another fucking thing about that little fucking cunt, little rich boy Troy Mitchell. Anyway, that little fucker, right? Now, as kids, yeah, he's the little rich boy on our estate. He's got a Jag, the best mum in the world, yeah? But as kids, he weren't really around that much because he's always off with his fucking mum, doing stuff, going on holidays, and he just weren't out that much. But you have memories of him not around that much because you go on his birthdays. That's what happens. The little rich boy takes you on his birthdays. You want to go out for the little rich boy's birthdays. Ooh, it's the little rich boy's fucking special day. So, you know, ultimately you'd get to go in the Jag. Yeah, you get to go in the fucking Jag. You go to fucking swimming, McDonald's. You know, these things are big to you, not to him, to you. Because you don't do these things very often. So the little rich boy, you remember, you know, you go out with the little rich boy out for their little birthdays, for their little special days. And again, because I want to get to this, these spoilt little fucking brats that have great women in their life, Craig, Riz, great women in their lives, Troy, are cunts to women, haters to women, spiteful and horrible to them. Because a spoilt little brat, yeah, that hasn't suffered a lot, when they get their heart broken or something by a girl once, or just only care about themselves, but might get their heart broken by a girl at school and hate them forever because it's the first time in their life that they've ever been upset and experienced suffering. And because they're a little fucked in the head wacko, their anger and everything goes to emotional suffering when that hate and anger is for physical suffering. So if something tries to hurt you, you need to get angry and hate that to fucking stop that from happening. That's a natural defense mechanism. Yeah, but they manipulate that in males and turn that onto other people. Now, ultimately, that's my earliest ever fucking friend. A person I just wanted to be around my old childhood. I loved him, loved being with him, loved him. We all keeping in. We did everything together as kids. First, I smoked my first fucking joints with him. I smoked our first cigarettes. I remember that. We'd nicked a load of fags, and this is how fuck we were. We were smoking cigarettes for the first time, getting lumps of sponge that we found, put in the cigarette. It makes you high. We're even getting high as fucking babies, up the doing mad fucked up shit, because we were feral. We were feral to a certain degree. The parents weren't around, which was a good thing. None of us ever really got hurt. But I just want to highlight this. We come out the trees. A lot of us come out the trees. As a kid, as a fucking young kid, because I wanted to highlight this about a human being. Every other animal gets stronger as it gets older. A human baby can climb, hang on, lift itself up. Wicked climbers. But what happens is they put you in environments where you're doing that and you ain't safe. Because you're not really meant to be going up too high without fucking any supports or anything. But what happens is that you start to come out the fucking trees and things like that. Big D, I remember seeing Big D come out a fucking tree out the back of my house, and at 5 years of age, I'd got up to the top of a 35-foot fucking tree and had come out as well, landed on my head. I ended up in hospital for a few days. But I remember being a great climber. I was everywhere. I could climb up everything. As a baby, yeah, because you stop climbing because you've hurt yourself a fucking few times, yeah, what happens is when you get to it, you're a shit climber. An adult has got weaker than a fucking child. Weaker than a fucking child. Now, how my best mate brother died, well, drink and drugs were involved from what I understand. And our way of life. Our way of life, ultimately, drink, drugs, and our way of life, because he was on his own in a prison cell, was the cause of his death. Now, that was in my 20s. I know it was in my 20s, early 20s, I think. So early 20s, by that age, my cousin, who was another massive, Jody his name was. My cousin was called Jody, who's no longer with us. He's the older brother of another cousin of mine. My other cousin. Yeah. Now, I was closer to him and spent more time with him than I did the younger one. And I don't care who wants to fucking... And I knew him better than people who have fucking shrines for him. Yeah, I spent a lot more time with him and I knew him a lot fucking better. I was with him loads. And so I just want to start to get this out. He was a massive part of my life. Massive. My first ever fucking friend. My first ever fucking friend. And by the age of fucking 20, he's gone. I can never talk to him again. I can't talk to him again because he's gone. Robbed, stolen. And the people responsible for that were Freemasons and the people that run the world. But they can only do that because of Freemasons and the associates of Freemasons that run the drugs and create this world for pieces of fucking paper. Now, he was Rambo. You drew first blood. And I will honour no other person more than him. And he will fucking love what I do and what I'm planning on doing. He will love it. He'll love me for it. Because I'm going to fucking honour him more than any other fucking person. Now I want to get on to my cousin, because I'm going to go into my cousin quite a bit, because my cousin serves a lot of things on many fronts. He died of complete shutdown of his body, I think. Whatever it says on the death certificate, he was in illness, but ultimately it's because his body was fucked from drink and drugs and abuse for years from child age. Another geezer, him and Little T. Little T is another Little T, because he was Little T because I think he was the youngest out of all the brothers. Little T, what, mate? I'm out of 7. Little T was the youngest of a load of brothers, and so he's Little T. Big T to little me, this Little T, but he's still Little T. Anyway, I'll tell a story about these. Now, when I first started high school, my younger cousin didn't get into our high school for some reason. His house was a couple of fucking doors up from the catchment area, so he didn't get to the school where his older brother was. So he went to a different school. So I'm at the same school as my cousin. So when I go there, he's another person. I weren't in the younger kids' fucking playground. I was in the older one. And it was, I just want to get this, it was my best mate brother. When we first got to school, he was leading about fucking 20, 30. There was a big massive group of us around the playground just kicking the fuck out of everyone. Kicking the fuck, come on everyone, let's do him. And we'd all run over there and start battering them, right? Because we're kids, ultimately, we don't give a fuck about no one by that age, pretty much. Because that's what the world has done to you by that age. But anyway, I'm with fucking Jody, and he's having a fight with some Pakistani geezer. Now, my cousin Jode weren't hard. He was a fucking little wimp, spoilt little brat. And he weren't a fighter, he was a little fucking wimp. But because of the world he grew up into, and tales from his fucking old man and people that his old man knew, because his old man was a fucking drug dealer. Yeah, big on the fucking, in the amphetamines and ecstasy at the beginning of the fucking rave scene. Now, basically, he wanted to be a gangster. He thought he was a gangster. And the biggest downfall in his life was him thinking that he wanting to be a gangster, because the best part of his character was When he weren't acting big, he was the funniest fucking person, one of the greatest people to be around. But the world, the media contamination and this wanting to be a fucking cunt, basically, a bad man, or gangster, like the craze, like fucking anyone. The media contamination come from everywhere, and I'm going to highlight because he suffered complete fucking mental illness because of media contamination, boredom, and drugs. But anyway, we walked up to the fucking backtrack. T's up there, little T's there. Now, little T was poor. He was, there's a load of brothers in a house. Yeah, he's poor. Not a lot of great role models in his life as a child. I think he'd been expelled from school, so he's been bored for a long time. Anyway, he's a lot younger, sort of, in his head. As you know, he's older. He's left school. He's older school age. So he's a young man. But we walked up to the fucking. Well, he's just left school. He's not that fucking old. So he's only fucking 2 or 3 years older than my cousin. He was about 5 or 6 years older than me. But anyway, we've gone up the fucking backtrack towards Rumfold, and my cousin's having a fucking fight with this Pakistani geezer. And this is pathetic. It's like little fucking... and it's embarrassing. I'm looking at T. T's looking at me. I'm looking back at him. He's looking at me. We're looking at the fight. We're looking back at each other. We're looking at the fight. Looking at each other. In the end, T went whack. Just sparked the geezer out. Come on, Joe, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here, because it was getting embarrassing. So we basically had to fucking chip off. Now, he was my only thing, that him and his brother were the only people that I classed as family, and their mum were the only people I classed as fucking my family, because they were the same as me to a degree. They had more money. Yeah, not a lot more, but, ultimately they had a little bit more money. They got gifts. They had been on, when the old man was around, they were spoiled and all this. When he was selling all the fucking drugs, they had money about. Now, by the time I've got to fucking 20, 2 are gone. My cousin, Jody, and little D. Massive people in my life. Massive people in my fucking life. Some of the biggest. My cousin Jody was like my role model. I wanted to be just like, because he was funny, and he was the closest thing that, at that time, because we called each other family. Because I want to, you call each other family. So it's like everyone else has got brothers and cousins. That, little D had Big D, and he had cousins on at my estate. The geezer who lived next door. Again, I just want to get to these chains of pain. The geezer who lived opposite me, the middle brother, he was one of the nicest people to me as a kid. He barely hit me as a fucking kid. But the cunt he shot me with a fucking gat gun, the fucker, and an air pistol. Twice. Twice the fucker shot me with a fucking air pistol. Twice. I think that was before I even got to fucking high school as well. Because he'd been shot. He's with the older kids, his older brother and his mates. They had a gat gun or a fucking, like, an air pistol, shoots like little fucking badminton fucking cocks. And basically, he's fucking, so I'm with him. He's been shot a couple of times by the older kids. And as a kid, you're half on edge, because you know that it always comes down to the fucking littlest. And the cunt just turned on me and fucking chased after and shot me straight in the fucking back. And the fucking thing went in like that, put a dent in my... Oh, man, the fucking pain was unreal as a kid. So even before I've been shot with air pistols and everything. Then we was in the fucking park. We're riding in the fucking park. And there's a riding fucking stables up behind Carlton Newman School, which is just up the road from Links Way. And there was this fucking horse rider walking past this woman with fucking jodhpurs on. So we're fucking hiding in the fucking trees behind the thing. And the cunt shot the fucking woman because it's jodhpurs, the tight fucking jeans, that means that would fucking hurt. Mad. We shot the fucker with the fucking gat gun, but then the fucker turned it on me again and chased after me and shot me in the fucking arse. But yeah, they're chains and more chains of pains. You give that gun to me, yeah, as a child, and there's someone smaller or weaker than me that I can beat up. The first thing I'll do is get that gun and shoot them. Ha! You can have some of that and all, you little fuck, because I've had to suffer it. A child is not really conscious of what they do. I want to start to get that out. So why the education and the legal system start to fucking blame and punish fucking children? Because it drives people further and further away, like being expelled. You expel a fucking kid from school and they call you a problem child because you're from a fucked up home. You're a problem child to them. They get rid of you. Now what are you? You're now a child with way too much time on their hands and no money. So it creates criminals. The system is designed to make the poor and fucked up and turn them into criminals to fund the criminal justice system and to terrorize everyone around. Now, I want to get to this quickly. I want to waffle, so I'm going to have to go back over everything. But basically, the criminal... oh, fuck it. I've fucked up what I was fucking saying. That'll do, because I've got to go. I'll go back over it and go back into everything again. It's my life story for a while.